Hi everyone, welcome to another Organized Life. I hope that you're all doing great, staying healthy, and looking forward to the summer, at least in the northeastern territories. Today, my guest is Adriana Barros. She's a certified body talk practitioner who's a specialist in chronic and emotional pains as well as injuries. We're going to talk about how our pains are intimately connected to our emotions. And if you have any questions during this live, please ask them in the chat and Adriana will be glad to answer them. So I am going to bring her in. Let's do it. Is she coming in? Yes. Hello.
Hi,
How are you?
very well, thanks.
Great. So let's get into it. What is body talk after all?
No,
Explain to us.
no beating around the bush.
No.
So, well, you've already said that I've been practicing body talk for so long, for 8 years, and body talk is this. There's so many ways to describe it. I like to describe it as an alternative healthcare system, and body talk is really designed to bring balance to the body on all levels. So we are talking about balancing the physical body, the mental body, the emotional body, the psychological body, the spiritual body. So all those bodies combined, as well as the physical and the energetic bodies, which are known as the chakras, the chi, and the meridians, which compose our being. And in order for us to function, they have to be in harmony. They have to function without interference with one another. So the physical body cannot interfere with the energetic bodies. The energetic bodies cannot interfere with the physical body. And when that is all in place, that's when we are healthy. So body comes in using principles from different Eastern, Western medicines, and to really have all the tools, or to give me the tools as a practitioner to scan the body on all levels, to really look for what it is in the body that is not functioning. Right? And what the basics of our health, of our functioning, is all based in the communication of the body. So our brain has to be in constant communication with all different systems in the body, meaning the neurons are meant to, or the nerve cells, the brain cells, are to be sending signals into our different systems, our body parts, at every second of our lives, in order for us to be alive. If the communication breaks down along the way, for whatever reason, mostly because of stresses kicking in, then the communication is going to slow down, and the signals, when they reach the target, which are the different body parts, they're going to be sluggish. They're going to be, more than ideal in order for us to be healthy. They're going to be slow and interrupted. And with time, if that's not corrected, we start developing diseases. That's
okay. Yeah. So that let me go into my next question. So does it explain why somebody has chronic pains, for example?
Any imbalance on the physical body, either regardless of what you call it, right? Because these are all labels that we have for imbalances, and the imbalances can come up on the physical realm under different names. They were just labeled and targeted by Western medicine in order for us to have a reference point. That's all it is. Basically, our brain functions as an antenna, right? So picture antenna on top of a building, picking up signals from everywhere and every single object around. So these signals come into the brain, and with the cluttering, right, and the stresses that kick in, we start developing cold spots in the brain. So the cold spots are the ones that are going to start interrupting that communication. right?
Got it.
So what happens is everything that happens on our physical realm, in our physical body, is started in our brain at some point. Every single little thing that we bring into fruition, into matter, it started in our brain. So mind you that we are all made of energy. Okay. Everything in all universes is made of energy, meaning that everything that looks solid to you, everything that you touch and makes noise, it's not. Why? Because they're made of different tiny little particles that are atoms, and atoms are just energy particles.
Yeah.
Visible energy particles, which combined and grouped, they start giving us this illusion of solid.
Wow.
And that we are it's a lot of energy condensed that gives us the illusion, and they are vibrating at a very high speed.
Yeah.
So this very high speed is what gives us the illusion of solid and form, and we all have forms, right, on this realm, in any realm, but this is the physical and the visual that we get. Mm-hmm. However, everything that as I was saying, everything that comes into our physical body, it starts in our brain somehow. So everything that we perceive as disease, right? At some point we connect it to something that made us start materializing that into our physical body.
Wow.
It's our thoughts, our emotions, our belief systems, our upbringing, everything we've lived through, our parents that we picked up from a very early age, or even before we were even born, because when we were in our mom's womb, we started interacting with our parents in different ways. Most of the time not very positive. So depending on the relationship your parents had, if they had fights going on all the time, if there were substance abuse in the house, if there were whatever imbalance goes into the unborn. Wow. Right? Everything that the pregnant mother eats or drinks or ingests, anything, smells, puts on the skin, everything goes into the baby. So mind you also that everything that we learn from the 0 years of age, before we were even born, before we even came into this world, up to when we were 7 years old, is 50% of all the information that we will learn throughout our lifetime.
Wow.
The remaining 50% we will learn until the day we die, from the age of 8 until whenever.
Yeah, a child is like a sponge, right? They absorb everything, right? So it's very quick.
At the amount of stress and the amount of interactions that we all live and pick up from our parents, from our schools, from our friends or family members or teachers or TV and everything, society in general, right? Any way you talk to somebody, if it's negative, if you tell a child they're dumb, guess what?
Oh my God, yeah.
They'll grow up being insecure. They will grow up thinking they're not worth it. And that will actually start bringing them the least of the materializations. Chances are this person is going to be poor and not materialize much on the wealth realm at all.
Yeah.
Because
or also poor in terms of their emotions, right?
Exactly. So again, it's a very heavy responsibility that parents have to make sure that they're passing on something that's going to last forever. And in order to clear all those emotions and belief systems and whatnot, it's not easy. Not if you're doing it on your own, because you don't even know it's there.
Yeah.
This is a defense mechanism that we have in our bodies. And so the brain starts burying the hurting, all the hurtful information and experiences that we've dealt with onto our subconscious mind, so we don't deal with it constantly. to the point that we can even forget it's ever been dealt with.
Been there. Oh my gosh. And
Right?
and this is when Buddy Talk can help, right? This is what Buddy Talk does.
So
So
connecting a little bit, bringing it into why we're talking about this with you, who is a home organizer. Where do you come along, right? Where's the hook? The hook is that the fact that we are talking about the pains, right? All the pains and the diseases that we start developing, the chronic pains, the injuries, the emotional pains. You being a home organizer, you tell me if I'm mistaken, but I think that a lot of times you go into a home that is so hard to organize because a lot of people cannot let go.
That's a major issue. Usually that's the main issue with people, and that's why it's cluttered, and that's why, they need an organizer to go there and help them declutter. But sometimes it's really hard to get that person to let go of things, especially sentimental items. So yeah, it's really
And
hard.
why you said it well. Why is it called sentimental? What's the feeling that making the person hold
Yeah.
on to that? It's usually
Yeah.
not positive, right? It's usually the fear of letting go and not being able to reconnect, or maybe you're not doing justice to the person's memory, or maybe you haven't forgotten about that relationship that was so hurtful, and the only hook you have to hang on to, you're clinging on to that pen that belonged to
Wow.
a boyfriend of yours, right, from high school, that
Yeah.
dumped you, but you loved him so much, but that's the only memory you have of that person. Or maybe you have t-shirts, or maybe you have books, and you have I don't know, seals, or maybe you have stamps, whatever you have. Maybe you have baseball bats, things that you
Yeah.
use in your life, but you come in as a home organizer and you ask the person, oh no, leave it here, maybe I'll need it, that I don't know, I still don't know what to do about that. When they say don't know what to do about that yet, guess what? They're not ready to let it go.
Yeah, and most of the times I feel that it's guilt. They feel guilty because they're letting go of something that sometimes it's not even important to them, but to whoever gave it to them, right?
Exactly.
So it's the guilt of letting go of something that it's like, oh my God, you know, what's this person gonna think? And maybe, it's from your grandmother that passed away like years ago, but you carry that guilt, and guilt
And
is
another
like
thing
very
that
powerful.
mentioning that's important, if you're holding on to an object that belonged to somebody who's deceased, and body talk that can come up, if that belonging is really blocking your energy or blocking the flow, your flow of your life, you have to let go of it. Because oftentimes it can come up in sessions when I'm working on people, right? If the person is wearing that piece of jewelry, or if they carry something, or if they keep it in the drawer, if that thing is stopping your body from thriving
Yeah,
on a
that's
healthy
not
way,
good.
guess what? You have to let go. So
Yeah.
how is it that somebody can really roll up their sleeves and start letting go of things just because? Well, it doesn't happen overnight. And it
No.
doesn't, oftentimes it doesn't happen. They just don't do the job
Yeah.
because they just don't know how. They can
Yeah.
feel guilty for betraying their memories, or maybe because they're like, oh my God, but I wasn't ready. And because inside they're playing that film in their memory
Yeah.
again and again and again and again, right? And we call that in body talk active memory. If it is active memory, is a memory of something or somebody or any event or anything that you've dealt with in the past, and it's been hurtful to some extent, right? Or very hurtful. So if you talk about certain past event and you just talk about it and there's no charge to it, right? You can
Mm-hmm.
talk about freely and really it doesn't bother you. That's fine. That's a healthy memory, right? Because you're not holding on to it. You've moved on. It's just an
Mm-hmm.
event. You can tell, talk about it and nothing happens to you. However, you talk about it and you cry, right? Or you get that anger again and you relive and you just, right? The charges is still in you. That's called active memory. And that's very unhealthy. And that's where body talk comes in too, because body talk has the tools to clear the subconscious mind, to let go of those things that are not serving you anymore. So once you start receiving body talk sessions, and I am work on you, but not specifically on that point, on that letting go of. You'll be amazed that when we work in body talk, on anybody with body talk, we are working on a 3D level. We're working on all levels of the body, meaning some things that are still buried in your subconscious, you will start when you least expect letting go of things. Naturally, your subconscious just starts adjusting again. So the memories of the sessions that you receive in body talk are stored on all your cells on your subconscious mind. And also, speaking of cells, every cell in our body holds the memory, the blueprint of all our lifetime. So it is a lot to change, right? But it's effortless. Sometimes when you're receiving body talk sessions, it might be that you might feel a little bit of emotional pain. So there might be a discharge, right? You might cry, or it might be a little bit painful when that emotion resurfaces. But according to my personal experience, I find that it's worth it. Suffer for a short period of a time and let it go and deal with it just that one time, versus having to carry that burden on you for many
and it lingers
and
lingers. And you can't get rid of it. So it's the same thing as letting
right?
go of, things, just letting go of these bad feelings that you have, right? And you can do body talk virtually, right?
Gonna come back again. So you feel with again and again, and it will be affecting you all levels of life. Say it again.
Nice. No, I think sometimes
I think
you're
you froze.
breaking up. Yeah, it's either one of us. It's frozen. Can you hear me at least? Oh. Wow. Yes, I am. Oh my gosh.
Brain, right?
Maybe we'll be
So
fine.
if
Yeah.
we are holding on to something, right? I mean, you're back. Okay. All right. Let me give you an example. That is my mom's example. Passed away about 15 years ago. My mom has always held on to things. So she was a hoarder, big time hoarder. and
Wow.
she held on to things like big time. When I was 18 years old, I moved to, and I went to England, and not on bad terms with my mom. So I went and I wanted to be there for a while, and I stayed a year and 2 months. And we talked and all, but my mom suffered from the separation, right? She wasn't even sure if I was going to come back. So when my mom passed away, me and my siblings, we were, when you have to get all the belongings and see what you're going to keep and who keep what, who wants what, or if you're going to dump certain things and stuff like that. My mom had stuff from when I was 18 years old. She had little pieces of things that I maybe collected or I sent to her or I brought from London. Whatever it was, she had things from that time and it still smelled like it.
Wow.
And I was like, are you kidding me? My mom was holding on. No wonder my mom died from colon cancer. If you have problems with your intestines, right? You hold on to things. Intestines are connected to holding on or to letting go, right? For my mom to develop cancer in the colon, she was holding on to crap. So
literally,
this is like an extreme case, right? That again, if we don't look, it can turn into something heavier like this. So and then it's gonna, if you start letting go of stuff, pain will just start disappearing from your body. Oftentimes it's not, I mean, how many of you have been to the doctors where you had that pain, chronic pain for so long, and you start doing all the tests, right? And nothing showed. So if nothing showed on tests, from your physical tests, that means that the problem you're dealing with on your physical level, it's not on your physical body at all, right?
Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah. Can you hear me? I don't know if you froze again or I did. Yeah, she can hear me.
And you change your mindset when you start receiving body talk sessions, for example, that clears your subconscious mind.
Oh my God. I think she froze again.
And you start moving on. So that goes for pain, that goes for physical pain, for emotional pain. The people who hold on to pain, to memories. If you hold on to memories, a lot of memories, that's going to start hurting your physical body. Or even hurt, if somebody has hurt you in the past, or if you haven't forgiven people, right? You have to start forgiving.
I have a question for you. Can you hear me?
It sounds like non-important, but it's very important.
I don't know if
break me a little, but I can't hear you. Yes.
Yeah. So somebody was asking here,
oh, you're going again.
if you find that, oh my God.
Maybe type it for me, like put it in the.
Okay. It's a question from Fatima.
You're breaking up a lot. I don't know what you're saying.
No problem. So, do you know if parents are becoming more
I knew somebody asked the question
aware
earlier, but we were talking and then they start moving up and I don't know where I knew there was a question. Becoming aware of what? If parents are becoming more aware.
Can you see the question? That they influence the baby. That they influence the baby in the womb.
If yeah, like I said, everything that happens on the external environment of the parents, all right? Since conception, how many of you have heard of parents who wanted to abort, right?
Yeah.
Either the mother or the baby or the father or both of them, or wanted the baby, the other one didn't want it. So that baby felt rejection before it was even born.
Yeah.
So that's going to affect how that person is as an individual, as a kid, insecure, fearful, anxious. All that's going to start developing in that person. So yes, it's pretty serious stuff. It's not only what you ingest, if you smoke, if you drink, if you eat, that you have to be conscious about putting in your mouth so the baby doesn't absorb it, because everything that you even put in your skin goes into the baby. Everything, right? Everything you breathe, everything you drink, everything, perfume, lotion, anything. So and people who, you know, I've heard a lot of people say that they drink alcohol during pregnancy a little bit. It doesn't matter how much you're drinking, right? So our thoughts, right?
Yeah.
You make with the baby before the baby's born, the baby knows if he's already wanted or not, right? So it's
Yeah.
I mean, she can end this and come back on again, but then you have to rejoin. I don't know if she'll see this. Andrea? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna close it and I'm gonna join you in a bit, okay?
Okay.
Let's see what happens.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. Maybe it's Instagram. I don't know. It's really weird. I think it happened on my last live as well. The person was, you know, cracking up a little bit. So let's see if she can join again and I'll bring her up. But hey, guys, you know, send your questions and comments. And here she is. Let me see. Is she coming in? What's going on? Yay!
I'm
Here
back.
you are again.
Now, let's see where it goes.
Okay. Yeah, well, we're almost done. You know, you answered, you know, all my questions. And I just wanted to know if you had any tips for our viewers, anything that you can have them, you know, do to help them, and you know, really any tips that you might have for them, just if you can share. Can you hear me?
So again, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay.
So I would say, number one, you know, carry as little baggage as possible, either physical or emotional. Wherever you are, wherever you go. That's hard. You know, it's easier said than done. But so this is a North American more than anybody's, you know, like behavior. Like it's just a culture of buying without even needing anything, right? So try and not really be so attached to what's material.
Yeah.
We're gone. We're not bringing anything with us, anyways. Right? Everything is staying, and you know, and people move on, go on to the other side, and oftentimes it's too attached to what was left behind.
Yeah.
So those are going to suffer a long time, and that's
Yeah.
another, you know, another live. But it is, you know, it's like if you were to move tomorrow, right? And I look around my house all the time, and I'm like, what would I take, right? And we will eventually have to let go, right?
Yeah.
So again, minimize as much as you can what you don't need, and lose the attachment to things, and forgive a lot in order for you to be at peace with yourself and others. You don't have to accept, but forgive and move on, right? You don't have to be in good terms with whoever, but you know, for yourself, so you can have peace. And that's one thing. In order to bring the stress levels down, I would say, or really help even with your health, with your personal health, Of course, if you were to look at imbalances and look at what's really going on and the root cause of what your health issue is, the emotions, where it started, how to clear, blah, 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 you need a full body talk session. But I can leave you guys a tip if you want. And this is the most powerful technique in body talk. This is a strain reliever technique. It's also a technique to reset the communication within the brain between the two hemispheres to really enhance all brain functions, and everything that happens in our body is reflected from the brain. So all body functions start in the brain. So if you develop the habit of actually tapping this technique on yourself, which is called the Cortices technique, and it's done by tapping of the three brains, which is the head, heart, and enteric brain. It is possible to activate all the functioning within the different body parts and cells in the body, and really enhance the role of each of those brains. The head brain has the role of having the awareness of what's going on, right? So when we are to receive body talk, if we tap on the head brain, it's the awareness that things are going to start changing. If we tap on the heart brain, it's about storing the memories of everything that the body's about to go through, and also distributing the memories and the communication throughout the body through the pulsing of the heart. And then by tapping on the enteric brain is also called the gut brain, as you know. And people know the gut brain because of that gut feeling, which is the intuition, right? Which people even call this the first brain, but it is the brain that has the final word in healing in the body. If we don't activate this brain when you're tapping, there's no healing, right? So it's important to make sure that these three brains are activated. The tapping also has the functioning of connecting the two hemispheres, making sure that communication is going again. And the tapping creates an energy field inside the body, which is the equivalent to what we call tsunami in geography, that has the activation and the power of moving inside. So that's what we do in body talk when we are doing tapping, right? And along with all that, we're doing the breathing, the inhaling and the exhaling, which is bringing in, getting us in touch with the energy, with life energy, which is a chi, and also bringing in the scanning into the body parts to see which areas are covered by cold spots, which areas are compromised by this lack of communication, and make sure that we reset it again. And then the exhaling is the letting go. So there's a lot on in this technique, which is called the balancing of the cortices technique. Why is it called cortices? Cortices is the plural of cortex. So one cortex, two cortices, okay? The two hemispheres. So I will demonstrate this technique. I'll leave you with this, and I would suggest tap your cortices twice a day. If you have kids, teach them how to do it. Enhance the memory, enhance communication, concentration, eyesight, everything in your body, memory, vision, you name it. Sleep becomes better. And if you're about to do a presentation, for example, that you might be nervous about, tap the cortices. If you can't sleep at night, tap the cortices. So once you this becomes constant, the body starts adjusting. So everything internally starts improving as well. So that's another thing.
Good. Great.
So I'm going to I'll invite you to do it with me. So we practice. And if you have problems, watch the live again, or go on my YouTube channel, ADRIANA BARROS CBP, and there's a bunch of videos on this. So choose a hand of your preference. Fingers are close together, and we're going to anchor and put one hand on the very base of the skull. Not on the neck, but just above, just on the very base of the head. Okay? Yeah. The other hand is going to do the tapping. So the other hand is going to have the fingers open versus this one is going to have the fingers close together for the anchoring. This one open up, and we're going to communicate the two hemispheres. So we're going to anchor them. While we're doing the tapping of the head, the heart, and the enteric brain, anywhere on the abdomen, we're going to do take deep breaths as well. So deep breathing and exhale. So inhale and exhale, 2 full breaths, okay? It doesn't matter how many times you're tapping, but it is important that you do the 2 full breaths. Once you're done, you're going to move up that hand position, 1 position up from where you were. So without leaving spaces, you just go hand position and you keep tapping. Because what we're doing, we're going to cover the whole head, all brain positions, so we can enhance every brain function inside our head. Then we go up another hand position. And just follow the pace of your breathing. You don't have to breathe faster or slower, just, you know, as you are. People are different. As long as you're taking the 2 full breaths, it doesn't matter if it's faster or not. Go up another hand position. When you get to the very top of the head, you can tap on the hand without having to move it over. But you can move it over if you wish, or you can just leave it here and tap on it so you don't forget. Then you cover above your eyebrow line and tap. And this is our thinking brain, right where our forehead is. So you're activating your decision making, your thinking patterns. Now, what's left to tap is the emotional brain, the limbic brain. So we're going to do both sides of our head, right above our ears, without covering them. And we're going to let go of one hand first and tap. So you pick a hand of your choice to tap with. I yawn quite a bit when I do body talk on myself or on so for that matter. Then you connect one more time and you tap with the other hand. And then you anchor one final time, and that's it.
Wow.
That's the tap.
Good. I'm going to do it tonight.
Yeah. See,
I don't know
but I feel a little calmer already.
Yes. Yes, it is. Thank you so much. It was fun. I hope everybody did that too, not only me.
Oh, I did it too.
Yeah, that's right.
But see, it's just a matter of habit, because people say, oh, I have no time. It really takes a couple of minutes. Once you get the hang of this, like as soon as you wake up, or you even leave the bed, sit on the edge, tap the cortices, or when you are in front of the mirror brushing your teeth just before, tap it. And when you go lie down to sleep at night, you know, before you really lie down the pillow, tap it. That's it. Or if you find you're more throughout the day or whatever is going on that you need to calm down more, then you can tap more times, and there's no side effects. Nothing can go wrong if you tap your cortices, really.
Of course not. I'm sure about that. Thank you so much, Adriana. I hope everybody enjoyed it. The recording will be on my IGTV, and if you need to reach out to Adriana, I think I have her at least her tag on my post. And one little question here. Well, she wrote in Portuguese. Do you think that Body Talk also helps protect us from negative thoughts and heavy from other people?
Absolutely. Your energy, you start vibrating on a different energy level when you on another synchronicity. Like you start moving up when you start healing. So your connection, because you are enhancing, like I said, we are enhancing the energy bodies as well. So if you are enhancing the chakras, for example, our chakras, we have the 7 basic ones, and those are connected to like the very primitive energies, which is the root chakra, and all the way to the crown, which is the one connected to the source, connected to God, connected to the higher self, whatever you want to call it. So if we start moving up on those realms, if we start letting go and become more spiritualized, which Body Talk does it for us as well, you start detaching from the negativity because you start vibrating on a higher level. And it's funny because talking about chakras, I have an Etsy shop as well, and I do have a package of working on the chakras. So if you want to activate all the characteristics of that chakra, so it can start functioning properly, and you can start vibrating and balancing deficiencies like throat chakra, thyroid, and stuff like that. It's an interesting point of view, but people who are more connected to this kind of energy can benefit from that too. So it is possible.
Great. Awesome. Okay. No more questions? Okay.
I want to thank you for having me. Thank you for
no worries. Yeah, it was great. No, it was great. Thank you so much for accepting my invite. And we'll, of course, stay connected. And if anybody would like to reach out to Adriana, I'll leave her tagline or her handle in the chat. In the chat, no.
Yeah, and
I go to too many
Instagram,
Zoom meetings in my post.
You can find me on Instagram as Body Talk High Park, as you probably see my name there somewhere.
Yeah,
so just leave me a message in the inbox, and we go from there. Okay.
Okay. Thanks, Adriana. Have a good night, and I hope you enjoyed the summer. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining, everyone. Bye-bye.